Um, by the way, today I will make 2 live stream today. I'm just gonna say this at the beginning of this live stream, which I don't really consider a live stream. I only do a live stream because last fucking second my fucking camera just died. Like, not just that it doesn't have charge or anything, no, it literally just died. So I cannot make the video I wanted to make. So my solution was just to make a different live stream about what I was going to say in the video. So this will be a serious talk live stream. There will not really be any gameplay whatsoever. The gameplay will be after this one. So after I'm finishing this live stream, I'm going to put out a different live stream, which will be Overwatch. We're gonna check out the new quick play hack, which I'm really excited about. I really want to see what they're cooking with this one. But yeah, so this is not my usual type of live stream at all. But it needs to be said. So first of all, I'm going to go, just like all of the streamer, I'm gonna go in the shooting range, and this is where I'm going to talk about 4 things that I think really need to be said about this game. So this will be I think this will be overall a long live stream. So in this video I'm going to talk about 6v6 versus 5v5. Then I'm going to talk about if the new tank buff that they did in season 11 mid-patch note are good or bad for the game. I'm going to be talking after that about bad hero gameplay design. I'm not talking about bad hero design. I always hear people talking about, oh, the character is just bad design. That doesn't really help. Like, just equip a skin if you think the design is trash. Like, this is the reason why skin exists in the game. If you don't like the base design of the hero, just equip a skin. No, what they are talking about and what I'm going to talk about is gameplay design. Why certain hero in the game, their gameplay design just overall suck or just way too overtuned or underwhelming. So that's what I'm going to talk about. After that, I'm going to talk about how I personally think we can make 5v5 a little bit better, or even better than 6v6. I honestly think 5v5 is the better format, and I'm going to explain why. But I think there is some serious problem with it that the dev team, or maybe the dev team, like, is aware of those problems, but the higher up just doesn't want them to like work on these. So that's why they always kind of just turn around and kind of just don't talk about these problems, even though we kind of all agree that they are problematic in the game. But yeah. And then after that, it's just going to be professional yapping. So after that, I'm just going to talk and yap about the game. And I want this video, this live stream, to be watched. So you watch it, even if you're a 6v6er. I'm a 5v5er. I was about to go on the 6v6 train. I was really close to getting on the 6v6 train. But I played the game and I realized that tank was really fun to play right now. It really is fun to play right now. Still, depend on the tank you're playing, right? It depends on the tank you're playing, right? Because if you're playing Ryan right now, you're really having fun right now. It's really fun right now. Diva, it's really fun to play right now. Ramatra is really fun to play right now. But if you play Malga just sucks to play. It just sucks to play. You just sit there. But I'm going to talk about that in Bad Hero gameplay design anyways, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. But yeah, I was going to jump on the 6v6 train, but after playing tank, like my main tank that I used to play, like Ram and Ryan, I'm kinda agree that 5v5 is better because right now tank are super fun to play. And I played Overwatch 1 way back. My YouTube channel was just not a thing, but I played back there. I played on PC, and I had a different like account for console. But because my mom sold my PS4, I never could use this account. So Isma Prime 007 is my old like PS4 account that I never used because my mom, like I said, sold my PS4 account. So I used another one that was just Isma Prime on PC. But then I bought a new PS4, so I just used my old. And this is why this account only has playtime in Overwatch 2, but I played Overwatch 1 since the beta. Fuck, I even remember like Reaper, like the Soul Orb shit. And fucking Mastress, I remember all that shit. So, is 5v5 the better format? I'm going to go in option right now and kind of just I think 70 or 80 is good enough. Still too much. I really want this video to be enjoyable, so I'm going to do this. Yeah. Okay. I know I'm a big Transformer fan, but I really want to do like flats and just play Cassidy in the training range. So, is 6v6 better to play as 5v5? And I'm not talking about custom game mode where I saw Samido, shout out my boy. I really enjoy his video, even though I really don't agree with his way of talking about the game and balance. But I really like the fact that he kind of did a custom game mode to show how 6v6 is better to play. But that's cheating because you change every character's cooldown manually, you change the health pullback, and you change everything. So of course, if you create a custom game mode, it's going to be better because you fucking created it, right? So of course you're gonna be biased. Because you created the game mode, right? If I create a custom 5v5 game mode with everything I want 5v5 to be, of course it's going to be better than what is currently 5v5 in the game right now, right? So I think if you to truly have a 6v6 experience and see how right now 6v6 would work right now, you do a custom 6v6 game mode and you change nothing. You just add a new tank and you change nothing. So tank are giga buff, are still giga buff, Malga is still overtuned. And then you see, hey, do you prefer playing 5v5 or 6v6 right now? Because they both are the same. It's same rule set, same HP pool, same damage output, same cooldown on everybody. It's just that now you got two tank. And this way it is a fair comparison. Because if you don't do a fair comparison, of course the one that is better is going to feel better. You made it better. Of course it's going to be better. Right? So I think if like I said, I want this live stream to get big. So I really want the opinion on Semito about this, if it's even possible. I know like I have like what, like fucking 1 subscriber and shit, but I think it's pretty fair to ask that if he wants to judge 5v5 and 6v6, he does it in a fair way. So I think either what he needs to do to judge it fairly, and if you want to judge it fairly, right? Because that's all you need, okay? If you want to make a comparison, you need to do it the scientific way, right? It's just the way things are meant to be, right? So either you make a custom 5v5 game mode, you put Ryan like the same H pool as you did in your custom 6v6 game mode, and you do the exact same thing, right? You do the exact same game rule and changes you did that as in your 6v6 game mode, but you just had 1 less tank. So I played Samito's custom game mode before that, right? And it's fun. It really is fun. Like, I need to say facts straight. It is fun. It is true that it is fun. But I'm just saying that it's not because it's fun that it is a fair comparison, right? If I bought you a McLaren, right? And then I offer you a fucking Nissan Ultra, and I ask you which one do you prefer, of course you're going to prefer the McLaren. It looks better, it goes faster, it's louder, and if you're a car guy, it's just your wet dream to own one, right? Just not fair, right? One is way better than the other one, right? And that is what his 6v6 game mode is. It's just way better than 5v5 because he made it better. It changes the rules, so it was better than 5v5. So what he needs to do is make the same mode, okay? So he just copy and paste the same mode, right? Just copy paste the same mode and just undo 1 tank and make it 5v5. Then you play 10 game 6v6 game mode. Then you play 10 game 5v5 game mode. And if you truly want to have the best answer, it should be 10 game tank 6v6, 10 game tank 5v5, 10 game DPS 6v6, 10 game DPS 5v5, 10 game DPS support and 6v6 support, and 10 game 5v5 support. And then after that you have your answer. If 6v6 is better, then it is better. If 5v5 is better, well, 5v5 is better, right? You need to put 5v5 at a fair as the same advantage as your custom rule set. So you put a custom rule set of 5v5 with the same custom 6v6 rule that you did. Then you play 10 game on tank on the 6v6 custom mode, 10 game on tank on the custom 5v5 game mode, and you do that for each role on each mode. And then after that you do a comparison. Did you have overall, and at the end of each map, right after your first game, you write on the 6v6 custom game mode or 5v5 custom game mode, depending on, you can choose whether or not you want to start on 6v6 or 5v5. That's what that's you to decide. But then you write on the paper, did I had fun or no this game? Then after a few games, you see which one has more. And statistically it should be a perfect 50-50, right? But that is statistic wise. Statistic wise, you compare two game modes to each another, it should be like 50-50, right? But it won't be 50-50. I know, and both 6v6er and 5v5er can agree that it won't be a perfect 50-50. One is going to outshine the other one. Which one? That is for you to prove by doing a custom game rule. Or if you don't want to do your custom rule set and you want to base on right now the like vanilla, like no change Overwatch to currently, right? Well, we can do that easy. You just open a game, you play normal game, right? You play normal game of rank on your 5v5, you play 10 game on tank, you play 10 game DPS, 10 game support, and then you just go in custom game and you just add one more tank. You had the competitive rule set, right? That's an obvious, and just now you play 10 game tank, but now there's 2 tank on your team, and remember both tank are going to be a giga buff, right? And I think if you do this with this current state of Overwatch, 6v6 is not good at all, right? And to prove it, I did it. Yesterday, I played 6v6, not the custom game rule because I think it's unfair, right? That's what I said. I played 6v6, but with the exact same rule as just vanilla normal right now, what you're playing right now, Overwatch 2. And yeah, tank was just too powerful. And if you had a Maga and a Sig, you just couldn't die. You just couldn't die. Sig put the shield in front of the Maga shield behind it. Sigma just absorb all damage taken to Maga when he uses E. And yeah, you just cage, you just vortex, and people pretty much just instant die. It was just really not fun to play 6v6 on tank. But right now, tank is really fun to play. And that's why I think if you really want to be on the train of 6v6, you need to put like Samito's game mode, okay? You just copy paste the game mode, you just remove one tank slot, okay? And you play 10 game on each role, on each different version, 5v5, custom 6v6 and custom 5v5, and then you have your answer. Which one statistically was better? Then you will have your answer. And you can cope all you want if the answer is 5v5. You can cope. At least now you know that the scientific answer was 5v5 because you did the scientific way and you prove it the scientific way. So, I personally think that if the dev put a 6v6 game mode in the game, they won't do it custom. They won't do a custom game mode, they will just put the same game rule and just put the same tank. And you will have the same issues as before. Double shield, like tank are too powerful. But now, I think the advantage that I think is that tank right now are really popular to play because they're really powerful, right? Like tank right now are really powerful, so they're really fun to play. So I think if you put 6v6 with the same rule set as it is right now in the game, yes, tank will not have as long as a queue as they were before, because the problem with 6v6 in Overwatch 1 was just tank. It was just not fun. People just didn't want to play tank, right? Because the role was just not fun, and that's the main issue that tank player have been asking since the dawn of time. Tanks suck. Period. It's that easy. Tank just suck. In Overwatch 1, it sucked. But now that tank are powerful and feel really threatening. Like now I say Amarga, I piss my pants. As before, it was just, it's just Marga, GG's, or tank play Ryan. You know, remember the debut season 8 when you literally need to buy Marga to win your com game? That was just dumb as hell. But yeah, you remove the problem of the weight, right, in Q. Because now tank are really powerful, but now double shield will be even more broken than they were before. Even more broken than they were before. The only one that won't be an issue, I think, is Ram, because his shield doesn't really do shit. Let's be honest. Like, his shield is so small. Yes, it has a shit ton of health, but it only lasts 4 seconds, just like Winston Bubble. So I think the only double shield that could be healthy if you bring 6v6 with the like Giga buff tank as it is right now would be Winston, not Sigma, but Ramatra. Because both their shields are on cooldown and only last a few seconds. And I think if you wanna put 6v6 back, this is the way you do shield. You put them on a short cooldown duration and make them last only a few seconds. Right? So I think if ethically you wanna play 6v6 ethically with the new rule set, you play Ram Winston. Because both their shield are on cooldown and it's really healthy for the game. Because yeah, you only have double shield for 4 seconds. Only 4 seconds. That's not much. But yeah, right now I think why 5v5 is better right now is because they made tank fun to play again. Not all of them. And that's why I'm getting there, right? And this is a transition to my next point, that overall the tank buffs are really fucking good. If you're a DPS player, yeah, it sucks, right? Because right now they nerf your passive on tank, and that sucks because your passive already suck ass. Let's be real, okay? I love playing my Cassidy and my Bastion, right? I love them. Okay, I'm a tank main, but I love my Cassidy and my Bastion from time to time, right? And support right now are not arguing against tank because, well, they can actually heal their tank, right? The tanks stay alive so long that now they don't need to babysit the tank. And he's not trying about heal as much, so overall, I think support are pretty happy with the change. Tank are really fucking happy with the change right now. Like, I saw even Flats, who was like, oh my god, what is this patch note, and was kind of scared of the patch note. Overall, he kind of went like, hey, you know what? If you're a tank main, the change are good for you. The only people right now that are not happy are DPS players. And that's an issue I have. Is that I just think right now Blizzard has really managed to define what a support and a tank is in their 5v5 format. They want tank to be, well, I'm talking about tank, so let's change about my favorite Transformer skin on this collab. Ramatra Megatron. Like, look at this. Now I see a Bastion, right? He's just dead. Now my shield actually serve more purpose, I believe. I kind of use my shield more often now because they nerf Ramatra's base form, right? Because now his Nemesis form is on an 8-second cooldown, so now I tank like this. But then I'm in my baby form, so now I actually use my shield a lot more often. That's a complaint I had with Ramatra, is that you don't really use his shield. And now, the ability that is actually the most useful now is this one. Like, look, yeah, it slows people. Like, it slows people going up and down, like, enabling them from jumping, right? But in the trailer, when he came out, you could add a Farah, right? So imagine Farah is flying, like, oh, I'm going to show you what I'm saying, right? So there's this guy right here. I want to slow him. He's not getting affected. He's not getting affected at all. It was made for flying character, and he was supposed to be the tank that is good against like Farah, right? But he's really not, because you can slow her and enabling her from flying when she's on the ground. Yeah, cool. I can enable Farah from flying when she's off the ground. I'm gonna show you something. Everybody can enable Farah from flying when she's off the ground. Example. Roadhog. Ah, fly is off the ground. Bam. Took care of her. She was on. She was on the ground. Ah, Farah. I'm playing Diva. Oh no. Farah is landed on the ground. Farah is not in the air anymore. You see what I mean? Like, every single tank hero can take care of Farah when she's off the ground. Even fucking Ball. Even Ball can take care of Farah when she's off the ground. Alright. So, yeah, it doesn't... The only thing they need to buff on Ramatra, and every time they buff Ramatra, they just don't buff the right thing. Just buff his Vortex. I don't want more damage on the Vortex. It does a pretty decent amount of damage. Look, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I don't want this to get buffed. I just want the Vortex to actually touch the skybox. Like, when I shoot my Vortex, I want it to go all the way up there. It's a cool ability. It looks really cool. But it will look even better if it actually, this purple stuff, actually touched the skybox and enabling Farah and forcing her to come down on the ground. And I'm going to show you why I really want this, right? But yeah, my second point is pretty much done. Yeah, tank overall are way better this patch note. The only people that are mad is DPS player, right? And I think that's because, like I said, I think the dev team has figured out what they want to tank and support to be, right? But they just don't know what they want for DPS, right? They give them a passive that was really good, but now they nerfed it. Like, what? Like tank has two passive, 15% headshot reduction, or is it 25? I forgot. I think it's 15, or it may be. I think it's 25. I think it's 25. And you got 40% knockback reduction. That is a pretty good passive, but DPS now is just, yeah, 20 heal reduction, that's it. Nothing more. Yep, kinda just sucked. And now it sucks even more because against tank, the biggest target, now you get less ult charge from killing them, but you also do less heal reduction on them. So I just think if they just give DPS a second passive, like with the one they already have, DPS will be like, hey, you know what? Now it feels less shitty to play DPS. Because support and tank player are really happy right now. I still think there's some tank. I don't want to blame anyone, but I really think that there is tank that need a rework. I'm talking about Maga, Orisa, and Diva. Diva doesn't really need a rework, it's just the Matrix is just... This is too much, and it's on a 1 second cooldown, and look, I can do it again. I can do it again. So, basically what happened is that I can... If Maga uses E, I can just eat everything. And then after 1 second he tries to shoot me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Like, Diva is just really good right now. Maga is just a dumb character. I'm sorry. I really like his design. Like the fact that he's got 2 machine guns and one of them put them on fire. Like, the fact that you get over health, like his passive Berserker is a really good passive, just like Doomfist. Like, look, now I'm a 725 HP tank. This is good. It's dumb. I really like it. What I don't like is this. You don't see it right now, but I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna switch to the tank bot right here. I'm gonna take some damage. I'm gonna take some damage again. I'm basically full health again. This is dumb. This is just straight up dumb. If you give a tank that is already really fucking good at staying alive, and you give him heal, don't give him damage reduction. It's either you give him it's either this, give him damage reduction but no heal, or it gives him heal and no damage reduction. Choose one, not both. That's it. That's how you fix Maga. Right? He already gains health from his passive. Like, if I put people on fire and I crit them, I gain health. Right? And I think right now tank are really good. But what I don't like is just the fact that his cardiac overdrive give him damage reduction and heal at the same time. This is just dumb. His ult, I mean, it's a small area. It's really good, but most of the time, like, if you give him his ult and you remove like cardiac overdrive as an ability when he uses ult, he will be easily killed, right? But the fact that you can like trap people and use your cardiac overdrive, which heals you for 3 seconds to 100 health, like 100% of your health and give you 40% damage reduction is just fucking insane. This is a bad hero gameplay design, not a bad hero design. Don't get me wrong, I really love like Maga and like double machine gun. It's just threatening. And I think a tank that can put people on fire is really cool, really good. Like I said, I love his Berserk passive. It reminds me of Doomfist. I love his Stomp. His Stomp is pretty good. The thing I really don't understand, why they just reworked it so it just gives you damage reduction, right? Hey, you hate Maga, you want to fix him, Blizzard? Hear me out. Cardiac Overdrive. 40% reduction for 3 seconds. That's it. That's it. No heal. No heal at all. Nothing. Nada. He doesn't get heal. He only gains damage reduction. That's it. Simple. And now, when Maga uses he's just harder to kill. Not impossible to kill, just harder to kill, right? It's easy to fix. It really is easy to fix. You just remove his heal and you just give him damage reduction, and boom, now he's tanky. When he uses E, it's just not impossible to kill, right? And anyways, I just think overall tank that can heal themselves is just dumb. Except for Junker Queen, because the way she heals herself is really good. Like, you have to do damage to heal yourself, and you can only do it while using like your knife or your axe. Like Junker Queen, I think it's the only tank that could heal herself, because it's like when she bleeds people, the more bleed she gives, the more heals she gets, which is really good, right? Because most of the time you can only bleed one person, so that means I can heal by meleeing technically. But if I hit a fat hacks, like if I hit like a really fat hacks, right? Like right now I didn't. This would heal me so much. Like Junker Queen is a good tank that could heal herself, I think. Roll Dog makes sense, because most of the time your playstyle is just not being in the front line. Most of the time you're like a fucking rat and you just... And then as soon as you take damage, you just one array, you heal yourself, you put your track like a fucking rat, then you go back, you heal yourself. Like, same thing. I think what they need for Raw Dog to be considered like a healthy tank is just you give him his heal, just no damage reduction. I think that is how you make that. This is my opinion on how you make Raw Dog healthy. D.Va, simple. You just like Matrix. You just make it harder. Like if you want to keep the duration, as the dev I think won't, you just make the cooldown longer, and like the time it for it to charge back to the max charge longer. So now, yeah, it stays longer, but now it also takes way longer for you to get back. I think this is a good like balance they could give to D.Va. Like, if you want to keep a long duration on a fucking capacity that just says fuck off to pretty much everything except like Yep Rock from Sigma. Like, you just make it longer to charge. Like what bugs me is that the dev, I saw like they had a good idea, like, hey, we buff a thing but we also nerf its cooldown, so it's we kind of shift the balance, like, and I really like when they shift the balance. I think it's a cool fucking idea. Like, finally, like, they kind of understand, if you buff something you need to nerf it if the character is already good, right? If the character is already good, you buff him but you also nerf him at the same time, so it's kind of, it stays fair. It's still a buff, but at the same time it's also a nerf, but it's still a buff and people will still be happy because it's still a buff, so it makes the character better, but just not too better that it's beginning to get meta. You understand me, right? So Matrix, this is how long it stays up, and look how fast it goes up, right? Look how fast it goes up. If you want Matrix to become balanced again, right? And people complain about Matrix and that they buffed it and people are kind of mad about it. You just buff the time it charge back up. Like, not buff it, nerf it. So right now, if Farah use Rocket Barrage, I can just eat that shit up. Like, nom 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 nom. I eat that shit up. And look, I can eat it again, right? It charged way too fast. It charged way too fast for a capacity that stays up that long, right? It charged way too fast. So just nerf like the time it needs to charge back up. Like, because this is too fast. This is way too fast. Like, I don't care about it like staying this long up if you nerf the time it needs to get back up there, right? Road Dog, how do you make Road Dog healthy? You keep his healing, you just don't give him damage reduction with his heal, because like I said, it's just dumb. If you want a character to heal, make him heal, not take less damage while he do it. So, because Road Dog, I think it's now pretty much associated with the character that he can heal himself. And I really like the change. Like, now it's super slow. Like, they should do this with Matrix. They should do this with Matrix. See the time it needs to get back up? They should do this with Matrix, but it stays long, right? I really love like what they did with Road Dog. Like, now the time it needs to heal, and he also heals less, but he also has 40% damage reduction when he heals, and that's just dumb. If he heals, he's not taking damage, because the damage he's taking, he's just healing it back, so it's already kind of a damage reduction. I just think it's dumb. Right, if you want to make Road Dog like a good tank to play against, keep his heal, but just no damage reduction. Like, the damage reduction is just zero, nada, nothing. He just heal. Malga, how do you make Malga good again? You keep his gun, alright, because that's the identity of the character, right? That he can do a lot of damage, right? But he also is a big target to hit. I like his passive. Right? I like his stomp. I killed myself, but I killed the Farah. The only thing I don't like is cardiac overdrive. Like everybody on planet Earth, I don't like cardiac overdrive. But it's a lore accurate ability, so how do you keep the lore accurate ability? You just give him damage reduction, no heal. So unlike Road Dog, where he heals, but he doesn't get damage reduction on his ability, Malga is the opposite. He doesn't get heal at all, but when he uses his he for 3 seconds, only 3 seconds, he gets 40% damage reduction. But he doesn't heal, So you can still kill him, it just takes way more effort to kill him. But right now, when Maga uses E, you can't kill him. There's just you cannot kill him. You just can't. You can't. Like, look, I'm going to take damage, right? Like, I don't die. You can't die. Like, keep the stomp, keep the gun, like, keep his passive, because his passive technically heals him, right? It's not true like healing, it's just over health, right? But with his cardiac overdrive, just make it so he doesn't heal, because Maga can already like give himself like over health. So if you give him heal with that and damage, that's just a bad hero gameplay design. I'm sorry. Maga is fun to play because of his two gun, like the fact that you can be more precise by shooting each gun separately, but when you're closer you can just do this, right? And do a shit ton of damage. His ult, I really like his ult. The only reason why his ult is broken is because of cardiac overdrive. The only reason why his ult is broken is because of cardiac overdrive. And now also, funny thing. See? They didn't put that in the patch note, but remember the Korean Maga strat? Where you use your ult and you kind of just kill yourself with your ult and you like it takes people down. Well, before the patch you didn't get like awarded for those kills. It just said like, oh, he falls off the map. But now it actually gives it to you. What? This is not what the fuck happened? Wait, you can put your ult on this rock? What the fuck? Okay, like I said before, okay, if I use my ult and jump off, Firewall will just be considered killed by like herself, like it would be considered a suicide. But now I get awarded. Look, I'm the one who killed the Pharaoh, so I think it's good. Orisa, oh my god. How do you make Orisa fun again? Just remove Fortify off the game. That's it. You just remove Fortify from the game. Spin is good. Javelin is good. Orisa, the fact that she doesn't have damage fall off is really good for a tank. Just remove Fortify. Just remove it. Give her a shield. I don't care if you stay in 5v5. Give her a shield by. I don't care. Just remove Fortify of the game. Sig, Winston, Zarya, Ryan, Junker Queen, Paul, Ramatra. I don't really have anything to say. Even Doomfist, they're really fucking fun to play right now. Like even Roll Dog. The only tank that are not fun, it's because of bad design, is like Maga, Orisa are just tanks that are considered not fun to play as because of bad design. Zarya is just a DPS. Zarya is just a fucking DPS. You wanna make Zarya better again? One bubble. One bubble. That's it. That's all she get. I use one bubble, then I cannot use another bubble. That's it. Because Zarya does a shit ton of damage already when she charges up. Zarya is one of the best tank when it comes of raw damage. She's just so fucking strong. Like, it's insane. Like, I don't think Zarya's design is bad. I just don't think she deserves to be called a tank. Because she doesn't play like a tank. You just play frontline, take shit ton of damage, and play like DPS. Like, you just bobble yourself. You just play. You're just a DPS. Just, yeah. Just, I think Zarya is not a bad gameplay design because it's like if you want to play tank but you're DPS main, you play Zarya and you have fun. I just think personally, I just don't play Zarya ever because I just think she's just boring to play. But I know there's some people that like Zarya. Like, so I'm not going to say anything. If you like to play Zarya, good for you. I just personally don't think she's good. I just don't like the fact that she get charged so much right now. Like, they nerfed it, so it's kind of good. So but I never play Zarya, so I don't know. Alright. So this is my opinion right now. So like I said, 5v5 I think right now is a better format. The only thing that sucks is that there's tanks that clearly need a rework because they're just like not made for fucking 5v5. Like they're just bad. Like gameplay design wise, they're just bad design. Like what the fuck are you thinking? Like Maga is the biggest outlier of this. Like what the fuck? Cardiac Overdrive, you get heal and you get damage reduction. And you can treat people and put it on fire because of like the way the character is made of, and you get more health because like of his passive where he gets health when he when he does crit to people. Like it's just bad. It's just bad. Orisa, Fortify is just not fun. Remove it from the game. I don't see people arguing that Javelin is a bad ability. I think people like Javelin and the spin. Now we're going to talk about why I think 5v5 suck. The DPS passive is ass. That's it. That's it. Just keep the passive where you put 20% damage reduction. Not damage reduction, but heal reduction on DPS. But had their old passive where you get also faster reload on every elim. I think if you add this with the 20% heal reduction, well, if you shoot DPS and other support, because if it's tank it's 10%. I still don't understand why they did it. Like right now, tank are fun to play, yes, but I just think you don't need to like divide the passive by half on tank. Like, just put it at 15% back. Put the passive back to 15% on everybody because tank are really strong right now. And I think that's a pretty middle of the ground. Like 15 instead of 20 on everyone. Even tank is a pretty good middle of the ground. Like you're gonna feel better against tank, and you're gonna still. The reason why they want to like they kind of just divide it is because against other DPS, it was not as strong when it was at 15%, so that's why they buffed it to 20%. But on tank, because they were the easiest target, it was too easy to give the passive. So that's why they kind of just divided. But now, DPS just feel like shit against tank, and this is why they're the one whining and complaining that they want to go back 6v6. But I just think if you give them a second passive with the one they got already, they're going to be happy. I think it's pretty fair. Like tank have 2 passive, like you get 25 headshot reduction, and you also get 40% knockback reduction. You get 2 passive on tank, but DPS you only get 1. So it's pretty fair to give DPS a second passive, like faster reload time on every kill. Like remember the old passive DPS had where it was like every time you get a kill you reload faster, and just add up I think to 50% like reload speed. give them this and the 20% heal reduction. And I think it will be pretty good. And this is also now bad hero design. I already talked about my opinion on how to make Road Dogg, Maga, Orisa, and Diva better. Now I'm going to talk about one of the characters that I think is the most annoying. Period. It's not Widowmaker, surprisingly. Widowmaker is a sniper. She can one-shot. People are whining like, wah wah, Widowmaker, wah wah, Widowmaker can one-shot me. Well, dumbass, she's a sniper. When I play sniper in Call of, I can pretty much one-shot kill everybody in the lobby. Right? So it kind of just makes sense. I see people arguing that Mei, for some reason, is just an annoying piece of shit. Like, Mei as a character is not annoying. Like, when she goes in cryo form, you just use every cooldown on her when she comes out and she dies. Mei is annoying because if you have her on your team, she does this every time you try to walk off a spawn. This is the only reason why the character is annoying. Because every time you get a Mei on your team, right, and the game is like 3, 2, 1, attack, and Mei just blocks. Yeah. The only reason why the character is annoying is because of that. There is one character that I think everybody can argue is annoying, Sombra. I think Sombra is the hardest hero for the dev team to balance, and they said so themselves. Sombra, because of the perma invis, and this is what they want Sombra to be, and I'm okay with perma invis. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the new virus. I'm okay with the new teleporter. Now it's only a short. Listen, I'm really okay with the balance. I'm Sombra. The only annoying part is the perma invis, right? Because it's just annoying trying to because if Sombra just go on you and just hack you, she can just go away and just annoys you, and she can just backtrack you. Like, I think for Sombra, if they just put perma invis, but every time you go off of it, like it's on a 3-second cooldown, but it gets faster if you use constant. I think it's not enough. I honestly just think it's not long enough. If they just give Sombra invis for 8 seconds, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty fair. Or if you want to keep perma invis, make the circle where you can spot Sombra bigger by 2 meters. Like right now, look, I'm pretty close to them, but they still cannot see me. Like, look how close I am to them, and they cannot see me. Right. I should not be able to get this close and stay invis, right? So I think if this was the max distance, like, so you can spot Sombra, I think this is pretty fair, because now you can spot Sombra more easily. The second character that I think people can agree is the most annoying piece of shit in the game is Venture. Now, the only reason why Venture feels like a piece of shit is because when I borrow, I get more health. When I use my drill, I get more health. The fact that I can dash away and not take damage is already good by itself. The fact that I can just go underground, pick up Mega Health Pack, and just be immortal is really good. And I don't even need to aim. I don't even need to aim. And their ult is just good. I think Venture, if you remove her passive where she gets like armor health, it just makes the character better. Just remove their passive. They don't need it. They can already go underground, dash, come out. Now you're 325 HP hero. It's just they don't need it. They're already really hard to kill. They don't need it. Like, the damage is good. Venture is really good on pretty much every rank, right? You can play her in mask. Like, Venture is a good character. Like, the melee is good, the damage is good. Like I said, you don't even need to aim. Like, I'm just I wasn't even like, look. Like, it's really good. I just removed the passive. It's just dumb. Now another character, and this is probably the only character that I don't want in the game. Pick a guess. It's not Torbjorn. It's not Kiriko. Even though I really just don't like the character. It's not Kiri. The most annoying character in the game is Farah. It's not even close. The fact that you do so much damage that you can just fly for so long is just it's just insane. Farah makes sense to do this shit ton of damage, right? She used a fucking rocket launcher. It just makes sense. But the flight is too good. Like, look at this shit, how far I can go. Then I can just boop myself, dash forward, and continue flying. And then I can just... Now, everything is back on my cooldown. I can just fly back. Just dumb. They gave her so much mobility with the rework, and the goal was that Farah now would, and I quote, stay on the ground more often. I'm sorry, but all my game, all I see is just this. She goes here for 1 second. Then they go back up, they fly back away, they use their grenade to propel themselves, then they use their dash to fly away, and then bam, there again in like less than 1 second, back in my fucking backline. Then they boop themselves away again, they dash, and they dash again, and now they're back here. Now, see? I quote the dev. Pharah will now stay underground more longer. That's bullshit. Like... the fact that it charged so fast is the problem. Like, put that shit slow. Like, look at this, it's already charged. Like, the cooldown on the flight is not long enough. Just, you want to make Pharah better? Nerf every fucking cooldown. The boob cooldown, 7 seconds, not long enough. The dash, 8 seconds, not long enough. The flight, not long enough. Because most of the time, right? By the time I will need it, I will get it. She stays in the air for so fucking long. What I would do for Pharah, okay? And this is probably the only character that I don't want in the game. A flying DPS that does so much damage is just unfair. And I think she's the reason why Tanker is so fucking strong. I honestly think Pharah by herself is the reason why tanks are so fucking strong. The fact that you can fly across the map in less than 1 second and come back in less than another second is fucking unreal. I would honestly replace her ult by her flight. Or just like I said, nerf the speed at which she gained like fuel. It's just fucking unreal. The speed at which she gained fuel is just unfucking real. Nerf that shit. Kiri. Honestly, Kiri does a lot of damage, but she's also a projectile, so you need to aim. TP got nerfed. The thing is, see how much it healed? It makes sense that Suzu heal. It makes sense. Also, immortality for 1 second makes sense to me. I don't want to remove the immortality on Suzu. That's not what I want. What I don't like is that when they're immortal, right, it just cleanses everything. Everything. If Suzu, okay, does everything, okay, in the game, and it's on a 15-second cooldown, and it does everything in the game. Everything. You're purple? No, you're not. You need heal? It heals you. You are about to die? Guess what? Now you're immortal. Doomfist is trying to punch you off the map? Guess what? I make you fucking intangible. So now it just flies through you. It makes you untangible, immortal, heals you, cleanses every single negative effect in the game. It's just too good. It's just too good. Like, Kitsune is good, Arcuna is good, the healing on Kiriko honestly could just be a little bit faster, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm actually suggesting that Kiriko gets buff. I know, right? I'm actually suggesting that Kiriko get buff. I honestly think the speed on the Ufodas are not fast enough. The thing I just don't like is the fact that Cleanse is just too good. I honestly think if you replace Kitsune, okay, by like you know Kitsune Rush where you move a little bit faster and you shoot faster, by Suzu and you make Suzu her ult, I honestly think the character would be less broken. I'm actually suggesting that you replace Suzu by her ult. Like, Kitsune is honestly worse than Suzu. Because Kitsune is supposed to be our ult, right? But it's less strong than Suzu. Like, Kitsune, what does it do? Oh. I shoot faster. It doesn't buff my damage. And it doesn't last that long. I honestly think if you give Kitsune as her ability, right, and you make Suzu ult, or she just put a giant Suzu and make people immortal, don't take negative effect and untangible for like 5 seconds or 3 seconds even, it would be a better ult. It would actually be a better ult. Make Suzu her ult and make Kitsune her ability where it lasts obviously way shorter. But I honestly, if you do that, Kiri is honestly a good character. The only thing that is broken is fucking Suzu. 15 seconds for an ability that can do everything in the game is fucking unreal. Kitsune is nothing next to this. Kitsune is nothing next to this. And yeah, I'm still saying it. Kiri needs buff on the speed of her heal. She actually needs it. Like, look, Mercy, best ability in the game, Res. He respawned with everything, full life respawn. Look at the cooldown, 30 seconds. They should honestly make Suzu a 30-second cooldown. Because what are people complaining about? Res is too broken. Well, it's on a 30-second cooldown. Look, I cannot heal them. I still have to wait 10 seconds. And they're going to die again. I cannot res them again. I cannot res them yet. Now I can res them. I think it's either you give Suzu as her ult where she makes everybody like immortal, intangible and heal themselves like for like 3 seconds. It would be a better ult than Kitsune, and you give Kitsune as her ability. But it lasts way shorter, of course. I just think it would honestly be better for Kiriko. I know people are mad about Life Fever, but he's kind of my main. So I'm gonna say something. Life Fever actually need every fucking buff in the game. I played the creator patch note where they give Life Fever 2 platform. And that shit was really cool. Grip, honestly, is on a cooldown way too long. Grip is honestly way too long. But because grip heal, it makes sense, right? Dash is good. I don't see why they would need to buff dash. It's pretty good. Platform is the thing is, platform is a good ability, right? If you jump and you time it correctly, it boosts your jump. The thing is, I kind of wish people stay on it. I kinda just wish it would get another use other than just, oh, you need to get up. Here you go. You're up. Because, yeah, people just use it to get up. Like, they don't use it to shoot it or use it as coverage or stuff. They just use it to go up. Like, the damage on Life Evar is good, the healing is really good. I think the grip should honestly, like, if you don't make it so it grip people way further. Like, but yeah, that's my opinion on Life Evar so far. How can you fix 5v5? This is the big question. Oh, Isman, how do you fix 5v5? How do you, 6v6 is better? Like I said, if you want my opinion about 6v6 and why it's not the answer, or at least try to make it fair, watch the beginning of the stream, right? The problem with 5v5 is just bad hero design, gameplay wise. It's just bad hero gameplay design. Like I said, Pharah is one of the worst DPS in the game. I think, like, if you give mobility to a character, you don't give them damage. This is why TF2 is actually better in that department, right? Because a hero like Scout, which is super fast, like he's fast, he shoot fast, he walk fast, he run fast, but does he do a lot of damage? No, he's actually one of the worst at giving damage, right? I think this is why they need to do to Tracer and Pharah, right? High mobility character don't do damage. I think it was obvious since day one of humanity. If you give mobility to a character, you don't give them damage. Right? Simple. You don't give them damage. Now, Maga or Orisa are the problem, I think, for tank. When people tell you, oh, who are the worst tank to play against, these two and Roadhog. But I think Roadhog now is really good. Like I said, it's just the fact that he gets damage reduction when he heals, that is just dumb. Make him heal but not take less damage, right? That's just a given. So here is my perfect patch note for the game. Ramatra, Vortex now actually touched the skybox. Doesn't do more damage, doesn't do more than that, it just actually touched the skybox. And it lasts 1 second longer. That will make him better. Ryan, I think right now Ryan is really good, so I won't touch him. But if I would say something, like just a tiny bit something, is just the hammer is really good. Fire strike is really good. Charge is really good. I just think that charge should be unstoppable like Naga. Or move a little bit faster. I had an idea one time about a Ryan rework, and it's just the fact that he charged with his shield up. Like when Ryan charge, he puts his shield like up and he used charge, kind of like in the cinematic where he burst the wall and had his shield up. at the same time. Imagine if you charge and you could use your shield at the same time. But instead of shield bashing, right, like Brig can just shield bash, like she just goes up and shield bash and it boop people, right? We don't want that. What I want is just Ryan, when he charge, if I hit you with the middle of my shield, I'm taking you. What I do is just push people away, right? So if I use my charge with my shield in between those two robots, I'm not actually pinning them to the wall because that would be broken, right? I would kill the two of them instantly, right? No, what will happen is just I push them aside. They don't take damage. Well, they take a little bit of damage because I kind of just bash them with a shield, but I push them away. And the red robot will be right here. And this robot would end up right here. I just push them away. And that would make charge not unstoppable because you can still boop Ryan when he got his shield. It's just way less powerful, right? Yeah, I just do this. If you boop me and I have my shield up, I just do that, right? But that would make it so when I'm charging at you, you're actually shooting at my shield. It's not broken because my shield take damage. So if it would make so I can finally charge at a bastion, right? It doesn't stun you, by the way. Me like sliding on my shield like this doesn't stun. If I pin you right here, with my shield here, okay, it deactivates my shield, right? So if I'm charged with my shield, okay, and I hit somebody directly like this, right? It does the normal charge, so undo my shield and I just charge him on the wall instantly, right? But if I charge and I don't touch people and I just pass through this, right, I just push people away. I do damage, way less damage than if I hit them directly like this, obviously, but I do some damage. No, I do some damage, but I just push them away. So Ryan would actually be able to make space. Hey, I want the team to get out of the robot. Well, now you can actually use strat. Hey, I want to push them on the left. Well, I put my shield up like this and I calculate, and you actually use your shield not only to protect you but to actually do some math. If I put my shield here and I use my charge, they would be pushed in this direction, right? This one will just be pushed here, but this one will be pushed all the way back there. So you actually need to do some math. I just think that would just make Ryan gameplay better because you actually need to like do play like, oh, if I'm here and I use my shield and I use my charge, where did the people will end up? Like if you want to push them away, let's say this trash bin is the objective, right? Well, I use my charge, and if I charge here, this guy would just be pushed back here, which is what I want. But this guy would just be booped here. It would be actually be booped a little bit closer to the bin. That's not what I want. So what I'm going to do is, instead of charging here, I'm going to charge like this, right? You think the better angle is like this, but no, actually the better angle is you going here and charging this way. And also, it doesn't make Ryan better. It's not a buff. It's just a new rework. Now, when you charge, you use your shield. It just makes Reinhardt gameplay more tactical, way harder to use your charge, because now you need to calculate the angle of your shield positioning. Because if you don't want to kill people, or want to charge and use your shield to make space, right? And don't want to kill people, you actually need to angle it, because hey, now I can actually use the cross on my shield as a pinning system. Like, hey, this will pin the robot. I don't want to pin the robot, so I'm going to put my cross around here because this is the one I wanna push, right? I wanna pin this guy, so I use my cross on my shield to actually position my pin, and then boom. And you can use your pin as a way to position your shield. I don't want to pin people, I just want to push them. Well, now see, you can do it with Ryan already, like it's already a strat in the game, by the way, that you use your shield to know how to pin people correctly. Or I just want to know if my fire strike is going to hit. You put your shield here and you just, yep. Is my fire strike going to hit? Yep. I just want to boop them. But now your hitbox is just bigger, so your boop is bigger because you have a shield, right? And also now when you charge at third person instead of like you charge like this, right? So now you have a shield protecting you, so when you charge you don't take as much as damage as you do, right? And it just makes charge a little bit better. Like I said, it doesn't stun like it breaks all because that would be too broken. You just pin with your shield up. That's it. But because pinning with the shield, like if I actually pin him directly and I still got my shield, that doesn't make sense, right? So when you hit a pin, it deactivates the shield and you pin him to the wall. Right. You pin him to the wall. But if I miss my pin and I actually just boop them, I continue pinning with my shield up. It just boop them way further away. Alright? Just boop them way further away. But if I hit my pin directly, it just does the normal pin. No shield, nothing. And also something I want is to buff Ryan, not the duration of his ult, but just the radius, right? Like, it just makes sense that it's 180 degree. Like, if I pin here, it actually kind of in the PvE when Ryan ult was actually 360. So this is just my wet dream, okay? But I won't. So if the higher I fall, the bigger the AoE is. Like the radius of the AoE, not like the distance, the radius of it. So if I pin you like this, right, I just jump. It's the normal one. It goes a little bit here and a little bit here too, right? But if I were to jump super up and do this, it actually go 180 degree. And if I use like a life weaver platform and like jump all the way up there and like slam people, it's 360 degree. Like if I jump all the way up there and I use my, instead of just going there, it's 360 degree. But yeah, overall my opinion on the game so far, really fucking good, really fucking good. And yeah, so is 6v6 the answer? Absolutely not. No, I just think the devs are on the right track. They just need to push patch note and like their idea, like they just need to not be scared. If people are saying a character is not good, don't buff or nerf him, maybe rework him. The devs need to be less scared of reworking character, even though they already got rework, right? Let's say, hey, Sombra got a rework, but she still feels shit. Well, rework her again. What's stopping you from doing it, right? If the character is not working in the 5v5 format, and you rework him and it still doesn't work, instead of trying to say, oh well, our rework was the good answer, we just buff, maybe you're wrong. maybe your rework was not the right idea. Maybe you just need to push the rework further. I think like Ball is a good example. I think he didn't push his rework far enough. To call Ball a rework is not. It is not. This is good. But to call it a rework, I think what I would have wanted for Ball as a rework is to be able to grapple enemy. Like kind of like if I the Ball rework I wanted was this. There's an enemy here, I grapple, and I can use my, you know, my slam, but vertically while grappling. So if I grapple toward an enemy, instead of going up slowly towards him, you know, I can actually use both of my cooldowns. So I use my grapple cooldown and my slam cooldown to BAM! Slam there. Like right here. Like I wanna there's a Farah here, I wanna slam instead of going there and like trying to angle it so I slam her on the ground. No, you just use both your cooldown. I go here and boom! But instead of slamming the ground, I slam like I slam here, right? And also the ability to actually like grapple enemy. But yeah, that was my rant about the current session. Overall, I think this season is really good. The Transformer collab is just fucking exceptional. But yeah, I'm going to start another live stream, but this one will actually just be me playing the game. So